Welcome to our live stream. As you can see, we've got a little bit of a different format now. We are using something called StreamYard since YouTube and Google, or YouTube decided to break up with Google Hangouts, and also they're killing Google Hangouts, all this drama. The point is we found StreamYard and we are really excited to be here. We're really digging this new format. A couple things to note about StreamYard. There is a slightly longer lag between the things we're saying and when you see us saying those things. So it's usually just a couple seconds, and now it's about 10 seconds. So if you comment something, it might take us just a little bit longer to get to it, but we're still gonna see all your comments, answer any writing or reading questions you might have. I'm seeing we've got Autumn and Sarah and Sabra in the discussion section now. Welcome, guys. Missy Kate, fantasy story writer, welcome. Let us know what you are working on in the discussion section. What kind of project you're working on? Are you drafting, revising? And yeah, so we'll start with that. Kelly, do you want to say what you're working on first?
Sure. I was just getting distracted trying to watch when we went live, or like when it started up on my other screen. So like it started in, and when you were already talking about the delay.
Oh,
but
no.
But if I went back, like I could rewind to when you actually said hello, WordNerds, but it came live with the delay. So I wanted to say that before I forgot.
Oh,
but
that's good to know. We are still learning.
Yeah, so maybe we start with like a bit of awkward silence at the beginning.
I am so good at awkward silence.
We'll just all stare dead in the camera for 10 seconds.
I'm just gonna make up like a bunch of jokes to tell, like right at the beginning.
Great time.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Anyways, I am finishing up a chapter in my sci-fi story that I started yesterday, as I am playing through all the new For the Works content. So it's more what I'm focused on than my actual book.
Yay. Emma?
I'm working on the never-ending first draft that I've been working on for forever. So hoping to get some stuff done. I just got back from Europe a couple of days ago, so I'm like really tired because it's like after midnight in London right now, and it's only 7:30 here, and I'm sleepy. So.
My body's just on London time.
Yeah, it is.
No biggie.
Erin, what are you working on?
I'm working on revisions right now, just writing out all my notes for Emmeline Black. So that's what I'll be working on in between, working on some stuff I'm planning to relaunch my own YouTube channel later on.
Yay!
So yeah, hopefully I can make it look prettier and stuff. So
Nice. Rachel?
Today I'm going to be partially writing and partially rewriting a wedding speech because my friend is getting married in, oh my God, less than a month. I'm flying out to her wedding, and last year she was like, I want you to be my maid of honor. And I was like, yeah, cool, thank you so much, that's so nice. But she lives pretty far away from me, so she was saying like, don't worry, you don't have to do any of the traditional maid of honor stuff. You don't have to go dress shopping with me. You don't need to worry about any, wrangling all the other bridesmaids. Like there's, just like show up to my wedding and like help out the day of. I was like, all right, that's cool. Did not say anything else. And then like 2 weeks ago, she's like, hey, so how's the speech coming? I'm like, what speech? And she's like, your maid of honor speech. I'm like, you said I didn't have to do that. So now I'm like kind of panicking and like trying to write a speech. But it also is on brand because she's a very booky person, so I'm trying as hard as I can to put in as many book related puns.
Nice.
So if you can think of any, either WordNerds or anybody watching, just like drop them down below, and I want to see if I can work some more in.
Your most romantic book puns.
Yeah. Well, like so far I have like the twilight of my life, like that type of like super tacky ridiculousness.
Definitely have to get in a better romance than Twilight joke. Because it's classic.
I'm working on revisions. The revisions that will never end that actually look like they might be ending soon. Yeah, I've been like really grouchy lately because I've had no time to write because we've moved and have this new schedule and everything. And my husband was like, you're really grouchy. Do you want to have a writing weekend? I was like, well, you have just incentivized grouching at you. But yes, I would love one. So I have spent probably about 15 hours over the last 2 days just revising. So yeah, I'm working on rewriting my ending now. And hopefully I'll finish that part of revisions, because then it's just a lot of smaller picture things. I'm very much looking forward to not having big picture edits for a while. We've got, where's the comments? Let me see. Sabra's working on a fantasy thriller series. Nikki B is working on their first draft of a YA cosmic horror mermaid story.
Sign me up.
And Griswold is trying a new world building method called World Building Leviathan.
I like the name.
Yeah. Misty K is outlining and revising. I said actual writing and words have been really difficult since the spring. Yeah, I get that.
We're all like, I hear you.
Yeah. Autumn is doing some character brainstorming, and Fantasy Story Writer is working on their first novel-length project in years. Yes, it's fantasy. And they're planning on posting it on Wattpad once it's done.
I was definitely going to make a cheeky remark. So well spotted in advance.
Yeah. Keep letting us know in the discussion section what you're working on. And like I mentioned at the very beginning, but we realized StreamYard started partway into what I was saying. We are using a new platform. It's called StreamYard. So there might be some like bugs that we're trying to figure out here and there. So apologies if there's something that seems weird. It's just that we're figuring this out, but we really like it so far. You can see all our faces at once, which is great and takes the pressure off of people, especially during a write-in where usually I'll just like put it on one person for 10 minutes at a time.
So now Rachel can just be in the background doing jazz hands
the whole time.
Writing a wedding speech and practicing your wedding dance moves.
Yes, that's right.
That one.
Oh God, I hope not.
Come on.
So the way our write-ins typically work, sorry, we've had a lot of intro for this week's chat, but we started basically on time. So, so how our write-ins typically work, if you've never joined us before for one of these, is that we set an amount of time. I'm guessing this one will be the 45. And then we write for 20 minutes, and we all try to write as fast as we can or as high quality as you can, whatever you want. And then we check back in at the end of the 20 minutes and we share how we did. We encourage each other. You are welcome to ask any writing or bookish related questions you might have in the discussion section, and we will try to answer it while we are live. And again, we've got a little bit of a lag between like what we're saying and what we're seeing in the comment section. So if we miss you, there's a chance that we haven't seen it yet. And also, but if it takes more than like a sprint's worth of time for us to answer your question, please re-ask it. We're not trying to ignore it. And today we have writing prompts, last thing. We have writing prompts that are there if you would like to use them. Today, I am pulling all of my prompts from The Emotional Craft of Fiction by Donald J. Mass. I have been using this book a lot in my revisions, so they are technically revisions-themed prompts, which we don't have very often, so our revisers can rejoice. And if you're not revising, these are very easily adapted to drafting as well. So our first prompt is going to be, at your story's end, what will your protagonist get? Work backward, and at the beginning, give your protagonist a taste of that prize. So I love the writing exercises in this book. Hopefully this will be like a solid plug and Donald Mass won't show up in my mentions like, you stole my stuff. I'm not. Everyone should buy this book. It's great. But yeah, I will type that up and put it in the discussion section for you when we get started. I'll also repeat it right as the sprint is starting, which should be in 3 minutes.
Was this the book you were saying recently? It was like one of the best you've read.
Yeah, it's by far one of the most in-depth books I've read on like the craft of writing. It really just takes it to to the next level in engaging your readers with emotion, like the back cover says. Say that again?
He's a literary agent, Donald Mass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah. I got a little turned off with one example that he used at the beginning, so it took me kind of a long time to dig back into the book because I was very much not a fan of the example he used. But then I picked it up again this year as I was trying to get better at writing, and I finished it really quickly. I'm a huge fan of it. Welcome to everyone who's showing up in the discussion section. Allie asked what the book was called again, and it is The Emotional Craft of Fiction, How to Write the Story Beneath the Surface by Donald Mass. It's got a gorgeous cover, too.
I really like it. I was just looking at that.
Yeah, I like that.
Really cool.
It's got amazing chapter headings, too. Let me see if I can get a good one.
Megan, I need a video on like all of your writing book recommendations because I feel like I've forgotten a
Yes.
bunch that I mean to read and you think they're great.
All the chapter headings, too.
Ooh.
Are that cool? Same concept.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, so I'm a big fan. I'll definitely have to, maybe we can do like a collab video of our favorite books on writing.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So we've got 1 minute until we're gonna start our first sprint of the night. I lost my page. That's a problem. Talk amongst yourselves.
Rachel, start dancing.
Oh god.
Your jazz hands out. Okay, perfect.
That's gonna be my wedding dance move.
Yes. Oh.
All
Before we jump in. Oh no, just kidding. We don't have to fill time anymore. It's time to write. Again, the prompt for tonight, or for this first sprint, which will last 20 minutes, is at your story's end, what will your protagonist get? Work backwards, and at the beginning, give your protagonist a taste of that prize. Again, I will type that up and put it in the discussion section. And check-in will be at the 5. Good luck. In time. All right. How did that go for everyone?
Good. 668.
Nice.
Nice.
It's hard to measure, but I got 1.5 chapter notes written out, so I feel like that's not horrible.
Nice.
Good.
Nice.
Pretty good.
I got 193. It's just under 200.
Nice. I forgot to keep track of the word count, but I wrote a good chunk of a scene. So good all around. In the discussion section, we've got Alekia got 424, Nikki B got 675, Helen 272, Lizzie 586, Fantasy Story Writer 407, Lucy got 550 words and hit 10K in the rough draft.
Nice.
Starlight Sapphire got 607, and Griswold is handwriting, but is guessing about 125. So great job, everyone. We've got a few questions that we'll probably jump right into. That way we can start the next sprint at the 10. Just like get right in since we had a really big intro. So it's showing me the top chat. We had a question from Sabra. Any tips for starting a YouTube channel? I just started mine and I'm trying to grow my channel.
Good question. I think make friends with other YouTubers, basically, that are around, that are doing similar things to you and at a similar subscription level to you. And like, more importantly, people that you really enjoy watching. And then just basically make friends with each other, cross promote, make videos for each other. That's my biggest suggestion. And like, don't do anything unless you're having fun, essentially.
And I would say, like, be consistent is what we always tell people. Like, figure out like how often you're going to post videos and try and stick to that. But also, like, understand that it takes a while to grow an audience. So like, don't get discouraged and give up if after a few months you still like don't have a lot of people, because it takes a while to gain subscribers, especially in booktubing.
Is different too.
Yeah. Especially like booktube and writetube, like you're not gonna like get like thousands of people instantly. So
WriteTube in particular, even more so than BookTube. I feel like it's it's very slow growth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If
I
you're
feel like in
doing
both of them, it's so easy to see all of the people doing so well, and some of them it feels like they're doing so well so quickly. I just you can't compare yourself to those people, which is advice that we're always giving ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. In the post chat, sometimes we'll be like, so I love this person's videos. They've been around for a year and they have 100,000. We've been doing this for 7 and have almost 10,000. How is this happening? And
which is why like the best advice I think is like don't do it unless you really love doing it. Like this is why
Yeah.
we still do it, because we love each other, we love hanging out, we love doing this every Sunday. Like if we had 0 subscribers, I would still be here every Sunday. I would still be making videos.
Because we'd always have 6 subscribers, and that's what.
7, because you know my mom's subscribed.
And
Yeah.
also, if you want to really quickly like get into the community, do a tag video, because those are super easy to kind of like click through. So if you want a lot of people to, find you right away, that might be a good one to start off with.
Yeah. And you can cross post on like Twitter and use like writing community hashtags, and like definitely go full steam with like July Nano and like regular Nano, and get on the hashtags with that. And like, yeah, because that's really heavily searched. So
And there is a level of YouTube's algorithm that is just its own beast. I work for a YouTube channel for my job, and YouTube will change one section of the algorithm's code and suddenly all our analytics either drop or shoot up. So like there are going to be things that are out of your control, things that are in your control on like the sheer number side that you can do, consistent uploads, titles and descriptions. Like don't skimp on the descriptions in your videos. Say everything possible that you talk about in the video in your description, as well as in your tagged section. There's like a section where you can basically like hashtags, how it like tags your video for you of like you talk about these topics. And then you can use things called end screens, which is a thing that YouTube has possible that'll link to your other videos, which can help with your click through, which is something you want to start building up very early on. So definitely. And it sounds like a lot, but if you like Google starting YouTube, TubeBuddy has really good recommendations. Again, that's TubeBuddy. And they can help you with like all the technical sides of things that you want to get involved in. Oh shoot, that answer took a lot longer than I was expecting it would. So we'll do one more question and start at the 15 because we are past the 10. We had a question from Helen. It's been 2 months since working on my work in progress. Any tips for getting back into the swing of things after taking a large break in the middle of writing/revising? It's not fun.
no,
I did the same.
But I always have to reread like a larger chunk than I normally would have to reread.
I always get on Pinterest. Just look at my aesthetics. Get excited again. Yeah. And I find too that having a deadline set can help a lot with feeling like, oh, well, I can't break anymore. I have to start now. Because that's the thing that I fall into a lot. It's like, well, I've already braked for this long. What's another week?
Or
So
if you're
having a
really
deadline.
not sure where to start, or you're just bored or something, just skip ahead, write a scene that you really want to write, because that will get you super excited again. And then you can fill in stuff later if you need to. But you're trying to like jump back in and be like, right, let's get excited.
Yeah.
And do that first.
And vlog your writing. I always write more when I think people are going to be seeing it.
That's a good hack. Yeah.
So we've got 3 minutes until our next sprint. We had some questions about character creation that I'm going to leave for after this sprint. That way we can get some more words in. Again, all the prompts tonight are being pulled from The Emotional Craft of Fiction by Donald Mass, and they are all mostly revisions geared, but you can adapt them to drafting. I just thought it would be fun to get some revisions ones since our revisers don't often get prompts. So this one is, what's the first glimmer of your character's need to change? Find that moment. If possible, turn that moment into an event. How does your character's old self fail, and what tells your protagonist that there must be a better way? And again, I know that's long. I will type it all up and put it in the discussion section. But again, I love all these exercises, so I wanted to share.
That one sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So not sponsored, but this book is just full of exercises like that. But if you do want to sponsor me, hit me up. I know you are always on the lookout for almost 10,000 subscribers. Yeah, so we got one more minute until that sprint starts. And if you didn't ask a question about character creation, which I did see, re-ask, but you did ask a question and I did not mention it, please re-ask it because I did not see it. And probably like 15 seconds. Who knows?
20 seconds.
Oh my god.
4.
We're just making weird faces.
Thumbnail. And go.
There we go.
Time.
Almost finished the chapter.
Yay! I did like 300 words. I don't know where I'm going with this chapter, and I thought I did.
Mm. I managed to revise my speech, so it's a little bit more streamlined and has a couple more bad jokes.
Love it.
Perfect.
The last little bit, I was just grappling with Pick Monkey, so that was exciting.
Nice. Oh. So let us know how you did in the discussion section. Meanwhile, we have a bunch of questions today. Thank you so much for everyone asking questions. We're running a little low on time, so we're going to try and get through all of them. But if we don't, we'll do another chat in the future where we can talk about all these things. Tiana asked, are any of you bloggers? What are some tips you would give for becoming a successful blogger? Which I'm pretty sure Rachel is a blogger. So.
I do blog, but I also am not super successful. I'd say try, and if you know about any advanced copy programs, sign up for them, because often they'll do blog tours. So that's where actually I get a lot of my traffic from, is when I post blog tours, and people will kind of stick around afterwards sometimes. And then also if you finish a post, to post it on other social media. So, on Twitter, like, hey, I just wrote another blog post. It's about this book, and tweet that, and that kind of like helps spread it across platforms and gets you a bigger audience. I mean, I don't really have any big tips because I'm not very consistent. So I feel like that's sort of just like if you're starting a channel, if you're starting any other kind of like creative platform, is figure out how you're going to do it, how long you're going to make them, how often you're going to post, stuff like that.
I've been thinking about getting back into blogging, but leaning more towards doing it on something like Medium, where I don't have to manage my entire platform by myself, where I don't necessarily have to talk about just one thing. And so it's more, I can just put it out there with the right SEO kind of stuff and find the audience that way, rather than, I don't want to blog about just one thing. So it just seems like a nice way to kind of blog without having to deal with running a blog.
Yeah. SEO, if you're not sure what that means, is search engine optimization. It's kind of like the back end of what people are doing to get their content found on Google. It's like when people search, they find you. You pop up for a reason.
Oh, I'd also say this could also be for YouTube channels or anything, is keep your usernames consistent. That's how I know a lot of people find me and other things that I'm on, is because they hear about my one username, either like online or from YouTube or from Instagram or something. And if they search that, like a ton of other profiles will come up. So keep it as consistent as you can.
Nice. Vanessa asked if we've done any videos about novellas. I can't think of any like specifically on writing novellas. But you can always go to our website, WordNerdsblog.com, and we have a searchable database where you can like type in novellas, and if we have any videos about novellas, they will come up. Apologies that I don't have one on hand. We have almost 2,000 videos, I think, now. And Griswold asked, do you have any recommendations for questionnaires on creating a magic system? This is my first time developing a magic system.
Ooh.
I feel like there was a good website that one of us
Yeah, the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America has a very comprehensive world building checklist. So if you Google SFWA world building, it'll be the first thing that pops up. I tend to get overwhelmed by a list of that size. And recently I was watching Brandon Sanderson's writing class. He teaches creative writing at a university, and someone filmed the whole class one semester and posted it on YouTube. And he has a section on like magic systems and one on world building. So I would also recommend that if you're looking for more YouTube videos.
Yeah, I searched on YouTube, and there's a few different options, and one from Kristen Keeper has 6 simple steps. Plus, there's Hello Future Me has a video on a hard magic system and on a soft magic system. So I'm a sucker for YouTube tutorials.
Yeah. I'm also currently, if you don't know what you want your magic system to be yet, I'm working my way through Holly Lyle's Create a World Clinic. Lyle is spelled Lisle. It's like a $10 book you can buy on Amazon, and it comes with videos and worksheets and stuff. And it helps you from the ground up building a world, but in a way that feels very real and like you don't have to come up with every aspect of this world to have it feel very vivid and alive. So you basically you don't waste time digging into minutia that you'll never, ever, ever need for your world. And I'm really enjoying that so far as well. Sorry, I'm trying to book it through these so that we can do our last sprint at the 45. And it'll be a shorter sprint. Do you guys want to do 10 minutes or 15?
10 minutes?
We'll do a 10-minute sprint at the 45 to wrap it up. Fantasy Story Writer asked, what are your thoughts on writing in multiple genres? I started out in fantasy, but I have interest in writing many different things from thriller to romance. Is it okay to flutter between genres, or should you have one stable base instead and only go outside of that sometimes? I don't want to limit or constrict myself, but I'm also worried I'll end up too much all over the place.
You write what you want to write. Freaking do it.
Kelly does this.
Yeah, I do it a lot, but you could definitely argue that I'm all over the place. So, I usually try to put things under pen names to try to streamline them a little bit. But it also depends on where you're at in your publishing career, what you're looking to do in terms of publishing. If you're looking to go traditional publishing, don't even have an agent yet, definitely just keep writing whatever you want to be writing and see what sticks. But there's so much room to play around and love all the things, because I definitely do. I can't imagine just writing one thing forever. But it's better for branding if all of the things are in their own little pocket.
So Kelly, she writes fantasy and science fiction under Kelly Sheridan, and you can also find all of her contemporary stuff under Kelly Bean. And that's how she does it. In traditional publishing, it's still possible to publish in lots of genres. I won't say it's easy. You might have to fight a little, and you might have to build up a base in something else before they'll let you do it under your same name in a different genre. But it's still write what you love and don't let anyone try and box you in. Mm-hmm. And be open to pen names also, because that can make it real easy.
And it's not, I don't think, something, especially if you are pursuing traditional publishing, that you have to worry about yourself. Like your agent and or editor will basically be like, this is the best path for us to do. Like when I went to publish the middle grade, I knew I wanted to publish YA under E. Latimer. And I said to them, well, maybe I should go with a pen name. And I was already planning out all these pen names. And they said, no, we want you to go with your E. Latimer name. So they had a thing planned out already. So you don't need to worry about it too much unless you're going to be self-publishing. Then you'd have to sort that out.
Yeah. So we've got about a minute and a half right before our next sprint, which will be our final sprint of the night, and it's going to be a shorter one, a 10-minute sprint. And the last prompt is going to be, in your current scene, what's a tiny detail of the setting that has big meaning for your point of view character? Pause to examine it.
I like these prompts.
Yes, again, these prompts are all from...
I want to get this book now.
Yeah.
By Donald Mass. I put that title in the discussion section. Where's the camera? Okay. Yeah, all of them are pulled from this book. And is it time? Not yet. Time for awkward faces.
25 whole seconds.
Hey, it's always 20.
You're so efficient. Huh?
Yeah. Again, I'll put that prompt in the discussion section so that you can have it forever.
Until it goes away when the video is uploaded.
I think it keeps the discussion.
What does it?
Yeah, I think so. It used to not, but now it does.
Oh, cool.
Better.
And it's time. Last sprint. Check in 10 minutes. in time. So that was our last sprint of the night. How did it go for everyone?
Very good. I figured out how to make a YouTube banner. Woo! It only took me 2
Yay!
sprints. I'm great at technology.
Oh gosh. Let us know in the discussion section how you did. I got another couple hundred words.
Nice.
I feel like I'm somewhere in there.
So again, thank you so much for all your questions tonight. We will probably end with this last one, which I realized I said I wasn't going to forget, and then I immediately forgot it. But Autumn asked, do you have any tips on character creation?
People watch.
Go to Starbucks and creep on people.
I tend to start from character traits that I like. So like coming up with characters, I'm basically trying to find a thing that's going to fuel them and building from there of like, right now I'm working on a character that's like very scientifically minded and likes to experiment with things, but then building out a personality from there. But this is not my strong suit at all. Working on it.
I'm a really big fan of trying to come up with like your character and your plot and your world all together in ways that like complement each other, but starting with character, figuring out, well, what does this person want really badly and what do they fear the most, and then looking at like what kinds of situations can I put them in that would make them butt up against this. And usually as I'm trying to build out from there, I think of other things, like, oh, well, why do they fear this thing? What backstory has made them fear that? Why do they want this thing? What household could I put them in? What kind of parents could I give them that would make it even harder for them to get this thing, but make them want it even more? And
what are their limits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes time, but I usually find I can get a good character from it.
Yeah, motivation is obviously number one for a lot of writers, and like I like building the story around the motivation a lot of the time, or like because normally I'll just start with a vague idea, and then if I have a character and their motivation, I can kind of make it revolve around that. That's some of the issues with my edits right now, actually, is because the story was already in place and I needed a motivation, and I was like, okay, I have to kind of do this backwards from what I usually do. So
yeah, and there's definitely lots of resources out there.
I think we have a whole Sunday chat, right?
Yeah, we do.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, I've been yawning this whole chat. I'm very tired.
It is 6 p.m. where you guys are.
It is. Look, you don't know me. You don't know my life.
So I believe with all the yawns, we are going to be calling it for the night. I apologize if we did not get to your question. Next week, we are doing our book club chat, which is on Sadie by Courtney Summers. It's a very quick read, so definitely pick it up if you haven't yet. We have a lot of feels and are very excited to talk about it. Yeah. And the week after that, we'll probably do like a more like general writing Q&A. That way you can come bring all your questions, and we can just really dedicate the whole time to talking about the writing things that you want to talk about. And like I mentioned at the beginning, we are trying a new thing called StreamYard since Google Hangouts is dying. And so we will probably have like 15 seconds of awkward waving at the end of this video because I don't want it to cut us off mid-sentence. So we're just going to wave for a really long time. Feel free to exit out whenever you want to.
We always do anyways. So.
We always do anyways. That is so true. Also, please like and subscribe.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Look at that. Banner. Ooh.
StreamYard.
Wow.
Wait, thank you so much. What?
She's just making faces.
Oh. Again, thank you so much for being here. And we will start the waving now. And we will have videos every Tuesday and Thursday.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Gonna wait for a long
This
time.
banner is too much fun.
Right?
It is, yes.
I just have my duck who was on the side.
Yeah. We should name the duck. Leave your duck name recommendations in the
Edward.
comments.
I'm sorry, you have a duck?
You see the
Oh, our beta duck.